Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I hope everyone has had a nice weekend. My project for today is a little Valentine's gift box that holds these Russel Itty Biddy hearts. I got these at Dollar Tree, but I've seen them at CVS and at the party store by me, and I believe Walgreens if you want to get them, if you can't find them. I use the Darling Donkeys stamp set, which is free with a $50 purchase. On this, I use some of the plaid tidings paper. But now I'm actually using paper, 'tis the season paper from the holidays, because I seem to be running really low on patterned Real Red or Poppy Parade paper. The Cherry Cobbler I didn't want to use again because it doesn't really match the wrapper. This is more of a Real Red or a Poppy Parade. So if you have some of this 'tis the season left over, great. If not, whatever red paper you want to use, go right ahead. Do whatever you feel. Okay. So we're going to start with a piece of Poppy Parade that is 10 inches by 5 inches. And I'm going to get my Simply Scored. And we're going to be working first with the 10-inch side on the top. And we're going to score at 3 1/4 and 4 1/4. And that's it on that side. Turn it to the 5-inch side, and we're going to score at 1 and 4. Very quick and easy scoring. I'm going to fold and burnish. There was a pre-order for demonstrators for the new 6x6 Designer Series paper for next year. It's coming up in June. But I don't know how I missed it. So now I'm just going to have to order some of this stuff from last year's catalog or the current catalog just to get me by till June. Okay. Now, this is what we want to do. Alrighty. And don't worry about these diagonal lines. It's going to be easy to do them later. We're not going to be doing any measuring with a ruler and scoring. Free scoring, that's what I call it. That's just too much trouble. There's an easier way to do it for this project. So all we have to do is just free up these tabs here. So, either way, it doesn't matter if you have the long piece on the side or the short or the other way. We're just going to keep the rectangle sides straight and take a tiny wedge out of the squares. Flip it around and do the same thing. Okay, and now we're going to put some of the DSP on, at least the back piece here. So for the DSP, we need one piece that is 2 3/4 by 5 1/2, and that's going to go right here. One piece that is 3 by 2 3/4, and that's going to go on the front piece right there. And then 2 pieces that are 3/4 by 5 1/2, and we're going to put them on the sides. Alrighty. But right now, we're just going to put on this back piece with some Stamp and Seal. Just because it's hard to get it in there when it's closed. I mean, you can do it, but it's much easier to do it like this. And you really could put all of the paper on right now if you want to. And I just left this with 1/8 of an inch all around of cardstock showing. Okay. So then this one is going to go on the piece that's going to be right on the front, right here. Now we cannot put the side pieces on yet. We have to wait until we put this box together. So I'm going to take my Seal Plus, and what I want you to do with the DSP, with the short, let's see, we want it on the back, these tabs, the opposite way from what they're going to fold in. We're just going to put some Stampin' Seal Plus on these little tabs just to secure them so they don't get in our way. And we're going to put them onto the inside of the back, okay, just like this. This line straight with this line. Okay. Okay, on both sides, so it looks like this now. Okay. Now we're going to put some Seal Plus on our sides. Just make sure that you get it right up next to the outside edge. That's what, if you don't get it up to the outside edge, you can fix it later by adding a little bit of liquid glue if you want. You could also use tear and tape to do this. You don't have to use the Stampin' Seal. But for me, the Stampin' Seal is faster. I just think that it's a little bit quicker for me during tutorials, that's all. But tear and tape is really my favorite. All right, and then we're going to just fold these to the back. Just like this, and try to make this line here flush with this line. So the line on the bottom of the box with this line. Okay, now we're going to put on our 2 strips of DSP that are 3/4 by 5.5 with regular Stampin' Seal. I'm just going to put them right on the sides of, on both sides. Okay, now I don't like really that this juts up. I mean, you could leave it that way if you want to, but it kind of goes out a little. So what I want you to do is you start at this corner by the front panel, okay, and put your scissor down at the edge and point your scissor right at this corner right here, and just cut. And that's why we put the DSP on before we cut it, because then it'll be nice and we don't have to worry about it. Or I guess you could put it on after and then just cut it again, but I thought it would be quicker this way. Okay, so I'm gonna put my scissors right at this point and point them at this point here. And there you go. And that's so much easier than getting out the ruler and scoring it and then cutting it off. Okay, now we're just going to put in our itty bitty hearts. And we need one of our clever clasps. Fold this back a little bit so that it's nice and flush and not wiggly too much. No, actually I folded it forward so we still got the red. And just clip it there, right like that. Okay? Now we're going to do some stamping. So we need some of our basic white cardstock. And I also did this box with the thick basic white. Okay, and the Cherry Cobbler, and this is Plaid Titans. Okay, so now we need the Darling Donkeys. This is free with a $50 purchase. In our Celebration catalog, you can look, or you can look at it online too, in the sales and specials. Okay. And I'm just going to put it down. I'm using Tuxedo Black Ink, just like that. And then I have one already, so I don't have to worry about it bleeding because I did it about a half an hour ago. So I cut it out with the layering ovals dies. And this one is about, I think it's the third biggest oval. It's about 3 1/8, maybe a little less than that. And then I cut out of the Poppy Parade, the scalloped, which is about 3.5 inches. Alrighty, and those are the layering oval dies. So let's color this right now. Okay, so we're going to use a bunch of different colors. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to start with dark gray granite, and I'm going to fill in his nose with and his bottom lip and his tail and his little hair. Okay, and I did put a little bit on the bottom of his ears. Okay, and then his hooves. Okay. And then I'm going to use dark and light smoky slate. I'm going to first do the dark. And I'm just going to trace him where I think there would be some shadow. Like on one side of the back legs and one side of the front, and just along anywhere I think might have a little bit of shadow. Okay. And then I'm going to take the light smoky slate and just blend it up. First I'll do the top of his ears. And then I'm just going to blend the rest. Just do little circles next to where you put the dark, and that should just blend together eventually. Might take a little while, a couple minutes. Okay, and then I took light petal pink and I just put a little bit in his ears to lighten it up just a little. Okay. And then I used light shaded spruce for the rose stem and leaf. And if you have, I don't know if we have Poppy Parade. We probably do have Poppy Parade blends. I don't have them, so I'm just going to use Real Red on the rose. Okay. right, and then we're going to take our oval, this, and I'm going to attach him to the Poppy Parade oval with liquid glue. Just gives you a little bit of time to maneuver it. Okay. Now I'm going to put them on here with some dimensionals. And it's just going to poke up a little bit above the edge here. Okay, now this was a piece of Poppy Parade that I cut off, was left with when I cut out the main piece that was 10 by 5. It's the 11, it's the extra piece in the 11.5, 8.5 by 11, the 11-inch side. And I'm going to use a sentiment, Be My Valentine, which is from Always in My Heart stamp set, and we're going to emboss that in white. So I'm going to just take some scrap, put it on here. Excuse my junk on there, my writing junk. And I'm just going to put it towards the bottom. I'm going to use this as a way to keep me straight. Well, this is a little bit of a wiggly sentiment, but as straight as I can. I left a little bit of room at this end, and then I'm using white stamp and emboss powder. There we go. And I'm just going to heat this up and I'll be right back. Okay, I embossed it. I heat embossed it. And now it's all shiny. And I'm going to cut it. This is just by eye because it depends on how far off the bottom you stamp it. Well, first of all, I'm just going to leave a little room on this side also. So it's about 3 inches that I land up stamping it on. And then the last time I did this, it was about a 5/8 piece, but it depends. So just do it however you want to. And then I'm bringing in the Banners Pick a Punch, and I'm going to use the flagged side on the end, the Valentine end. Flip it over. Center it and cut it. Alrighty. Now, I just want you to bend this, but what you could do is just bend it about a 1/4 of an inch or so to on the left hand side, just so that we can bend it up like this. But you could just do it with your fingernail. This way would make sure it's straight. And I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to give it a little curl. All right, and then I'm just going to stick it right underneath the part that I bent, right underneath the clever clasp, right in the middle of the box. Alrighty. And then the bend kind of keeps it up so it doesn't go straight down underneath here. Okay, and now we need some real red sheer ribbon. We're going to just tie a bow. I don't know if there's really a front or a back to a bow. I just picked the one I like, how it looks the best. Okay. Yeah, I like that one. Okay, and I'm going to get a glue dot. On this one, I used the polka dotted sheer ribbon. I take your pick tool. Just going to put it on the bow and attach the bow to the middle of the clever clasp. Alrighty. And now, some final touches. I'm going to put a little wink of Stella on the rose. And some resin heart embellishments around the donkey. Here we go. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you would like to purchase any of these supplies, you can buy them through me at the link at the top of the screen. And I would love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the like button if you liked my project today. I will see you next time. Bye.